So moved. Teresa.
Okay, and a second, please.
A second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Streetman,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Box,
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
and motion carried.
Okay. Do we have any comments from the public on items on this agenda?
According to Mr. Larry Wickham, there are no public comments were received at this time.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda, which is basically the minutes from the last board meeting? Has everybody read them? Are there any additions or corrections we need to make? Okay, if there are no additions and corrections, do we have a motion to approve the minutes of the consent agenda?
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Okay, and a second, please.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Tom. Roll call.
Mr. Sidwell,
Yes.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Streetman,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Box,
Yes.
and motion carried.
Okay, Chairperson's report. I really don't have anything to report, but I've got something I need for everybody to start kind of thinking about. We've got 2 new board members on here. Tom's been on here for a little while. Philip just came on. We need to look and try to figure out when we might want to have a training session, board training session. Usually it's a day and a half long. We can make it a day. It could even be done on a Saturday if necessary. But look at your calendars and kind of get an idea of when you think would be the better time for you guys. Would it be a little bit better in the summer? Would it be a little bit better in the fall? We have time to work on this thing, and then I'll have to get with the person we're going to bring in and get with him and find out what his schedule is too. So just something to think about and keep in the back of your mind, because we do need a board training session. We need to get at least 2 of our members up where some of the rest of us have kind of been for a little while. That being said, we'll go right on to reports. Dr. Bush.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to begin the report this evening by introducing some new employees that are with us this evening. We'll start with Stephanie Otero. Stephanie, are you there?
I'm here. Hi, everyone.
All right. Stephanie is our new Chief Financial Officer, and she also serves as the Executive Director for Business Services. Stephanie, would you take just a moment, please, and introduce yourself to the board? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Give a little bio, background, history, education, experience, good stuff.
Sure. My name is Stephanie Otero. I'm a CPA. I've actually been in California for the past 25, 26 years practicing there. I currently just finished up my role as CEO and CFO at a food bank in California. So I'm excited to be at Mesa Lands. I've had my own CPA practice as well. So I have been an auditor and an auditee. And probably the best thing about me is I'm actually from Tucumcari. I graduated. I'm a Rattler. So I'm happy to be back after about 30 years of being away. So excited to be here.
Yes.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We also have with us this evening Chris Jones. I believe he's off on the shoulder of Maria. Dr. Haas down there.
Right there.
He's sunning himself on the beach. Mr. Jones is joining us. He is the Executive Director for Student Life, Housing, and First Year Experience. Mr. Jones, would you take over, please? Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you found so far here at Mesa Lands, from your experience, education, all that kind of stuff.
Sure. Thank you, and good evening, board members. Started out teaching ESL, GED, and citizenship at Houston Community Colleges. I was finishing my master's in community clinical psychology, also working the emergency rooms as part of that, finishing that master's, and was going to the American Association of Community Colleges Workforce Development Institute. Became a bit of a grant writer, academic advising, counseling, testing for colleges. Worked a little bit in the Navajo Technical University, spent a year there on a substance abuse grant, teaching as full-time faculty, and before that was on an island out in the Pacific, Northern Mariana College, teaching psychology. And I am just pleased to speak to people here. It is quite an opportunity that I see in all three of the sectors: first year, housing, and student life. But I think that I have great supervisors and administrators here, Dr. Haas and Dr. Bush, to guide me through some of the things that I've seen in the past 2 days. But we're gonna get it right, and that tennis team that's coming is going to be international and be another feather under the cap of all of you.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Dr. Bush, but I want to apologize to that gentleman for missing him when I went through the roll call.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
And I do
That's all right.
apologize.
You know, I can see how it be done. He's on the same screen with Dr. Haas, so
Yes.
it would have been very easy to have done that. Yes, we're very fortunate to have Mr. Jones and Ms. Otero with us. Both of them come with just an incredible amount of experience, and when the first time I looked at Mr. Jones's resume, his resume specifically stated all three areas exactly of what we were looking for in that position, which was student life, the coordinator and director of our housing, and further being able to develop our first year experience program, which is a proven success step that we need to improve the success of our students. So we're very, very pleased to have him. And I met with him today. He's got some great ideas and going to really move us a long way. Ms. Otero, she obviously comes to us knowing the city already, but she has tremendous background. And I believe it was Natalie one evening that pointed out to me that she's the first business officer that's come to the college and at least in any kind of short memory or medium memory, that is also a CPA. So she brings tremendous experience from that. And she's smart as a tack, and she's already kept lots of things that we need to be working on and improving our business services and our financial work as well. So I see Dr. Hackett just joined us. And I believe you all maybe met Dr. Hackett at the last meeting.
Yes.
Is that true, Dr. Hackett?
Yes, I was on the last meeting, and I'm
All right.
sorry I'm tardy. I just ran in the door. We actually drove back from Logan.
Oh, okay.
Right. We were looking at houses and land, and we went to Logan Elementary. So yeah, just getting back and getting settled. It was a good trip.
Great. I'm really glad to hear that. I know that Mr. Streetman had given you some good advice about some properties up in that area. So
Yes.
I do appreciate that. So, all right, Mr. Chair, that I think that takes place, or that counts for everyone who's with us tonight. We do have another recent hire, but he's finishing up his position there, and he'll be at our next meeting, I'm sure. We're also joined, as you know, with our chief of staff here, Dr. Brooks, who's doing just a tremendous job helping us out here in the president's office. So we want to thank him as well.
Well, Dr. Brooks is on here.
Yep, Dr. Brooks is here. I think he's met you all before. Dr. Brooks,
Yes.
have you done the introductions before?
Yes, I attended last meeting. Hopefully everybody remembers me.
I thought you did. So, good deal. All right. With that, Mr. Chair, I believe you have in your board packets my report, as well as the reports from each of the executives. So I don't want to belabor any of that or take any extra time away from that issue. So you can take a look at those. If you have any questions about any of those, any of us will be happy to answer any specific questions. Just a couple of things I'll just highlight. I'm very pleased to point out and thank Dr. Haas and her leadership. The college will be returning this year to celebrating Cinco de Mayo. I know that this has been a particular interest to Mr. Sandoval. And Dr. Haas, would you like to just touch on that for a moment, please, and just go over some of the activities that you have planned right now for Cinco de Mayo?
Yes, that'd be fine. So we are just we're planning the DJ component. So we'll have a DJ, and that is going to be provided by the FFA students from the high school, the local high school. So we're always real happy to help, our students. And then we're going to have a station where we'll have piñatas for the, kids. We have loteria, Mexican loteria in the library. For the adults who would like to partake in that. and then the Njcaa runner, Professor Emeritus, she and hopefully a couple of other two art students will be doing the face painting. We will have the esports section in the commons area, and we would like to welcome everyone to come and have a bag of popcorn and a drink, a beverage. And so come and enjoy and partake of the festivities. We're just happy to bring back Cinco de Mayo celebration, and we're looking forward to even bigger and better next year. So, yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Haas. I appreciate that. And thank you for sharing some of the details. More plans will be forthcoming, and Mr. McVeigh will be helping get a press release out so the community is aware of that. And we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance. And just for clarity's sake, when Dr. Haas mentioned that we'll have beverages for that, there'll be Pepsi. So we'll be making sure that we honor our relationship with our Pepsi partners. So we're very, very proud of that. So anyway. I also want to just touch on a couple of things that's gone on since our last meeting. Dr. Hackett and I attended the Higher Learning Commission meeting in Chicago. I think she will agree with me that it was very enlightening, and it certainly paved the way of the direction for the college. I would also simply say that I left that meeting feeling very proud. And the reason I felt proud is because as HLC began to define the direction of the way accreditation is going for the colleges, it was like they had taken a cookie cutter and described what's happening here at Mesa Lands, and the ways that and the things that we're putting into place, the steps we're taking for student success, the steps we're taking to break down barriers to access. All of those things we're going to be very heartily rewarded for, as well as the development of our micro-credentials, adding the skills and the workforce development side. That has never been emphasized as much as it's being emphasized now from the accreditors. So I'm real pleased with that. I'm real pleased with the direction that it's going. And I'm really pleased to have Dr. Hackett leading those steps. And Dr. Hackett, is there anything about the HLC conference you'd like to mention?
I concur what you were saying, and as well, I had the opportunity to meet with our ALO, Gigi, which was great. I got to meet her in person, and she offered to do a Zoom call with myself and Natalie just to kind of introduce myself and go over everything. So I learned a lot. It was a great conference and made some connections, networking, and it was a success.
Excellent. Thank you. Also, just like to point out, had an opportunity to attend our first NJCAA athletic conference meeting in Birmingham, Alabama. This meeting was, I attended this with Millen Rasick, the athletic director. And just as a note, Millen and Mesa Lands received a shout out at the national conference for their work. Remember, it's not easy to be accepted into the athletic conferences, and Millen's leadership got us accepted in our first try. So all of our sports and the sports that we are developing have all been proved and pre-approved by the NJCAA. And so it was very nice. And again, I was very proud when they spoke from the podium and called out Mesa Lands in particular as being a model for how to advance their athletic program. So another great shout out on a national level for the college there. So we've had a couple of good things happening there, and there's more on the way for the rest of this month. I'll brief you on as they happen. And I think at this point, Mr. Chairman, I think we're just going to wrap it up for the evening. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to address any of your questions or concerns.
Okay. Do you have anything for Ms. Gillard since she's not here?
Ms. Gillard has, I'll just give you a brief update on that. And Ms. Otero, you may you may want to jump in and help me a little bit on this one because I know you've been working with her closer than I have lately. So Ms. Gillard has been working with Wanda Helms and Ms. Otero, the new CFO, to work on our audit as well as our budget for this month. So they'll have that completed. The plans are that the budget will be complete. Oh, what is it? By the middle of next week's, Ms. Otero? Does that sound right?
Yes, that's the plan. Wanda will be at Mesa Lands, I believe, Thursday and Friday of this week, just to get any information, to meet with you, talk about any increases for next year. The audit should be wrapped up in about a month. I met with the auditor today, and they're just wrapping up loose ends, and they want to come out and do some field work before they wrap it up.
Great. So the budget should be prepared and to the board by May 1st, Mr. Chair, and this will require, once they wrap this budget up in the next few days, it will require the board to have a special meeting to approve and accept that budget. So that'll be something that I will need to ask the board at some point in time during this evening's meeting for you to consider the date which you would like to establish for your special meeting in order to approve the budget that must be submitted to the state by May the 1st. So that's what Ms. Gillard's been working on. Additionally, she was working on a budget application to the Department of Higher Education relative to our nursing program. So she submitted an updated budget to them. We have not heard back yet on that updated budget. So we'll give them a few more days to respond to us and let us know where that status stands. So that pretty much sums up what Ms. Gillard's been doing for the month. She's been very consumed on those three major projects, and that's pretty much it. So.
Okay, we have to have this in by May the 1st, and we need to know just as soon as possible when this thing is finalized to the point that we can have a meeting. And given the fact that we have to have 72 hours notice, we've got to keep that in mind too, so we don't stub our toe there.
I'd direct that back to Ms. Ragland. She's been actually looking at this issue, Mr. Chair, and she's prepared to maybe give you a couple of recommendations based upon the information that we've been getting back from the financial team as far as a recommendation for the night of that budget, and then also building into account what you just described as the proper notice of that meeting. So, Ms. Ragland, do you want to address that to the board and what dates you're looking at?
Sure. I was looking at Thursday, the 28th at 5:30. If that's acceptable, I can get all of the notices out within a timely manner.
When was that again?
April the 28th. It's a Thursday night at 5:30.
At 5:30?
Yes, sir.
Okay, when am I supposed to meet with Josh on the 28th?
At 3 o'clock, I believe.
Okay. That should give us plenty of time then. Mm-hmm. And we'll meet like this.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That will work for me. How about everybody else?
Is it just going to be a short meeting?
Ms. Stevenson, there's another matter that I am anticipating to be here by that meeting, and they would be two large issues. So it could, I would say that it will not be a short meeting, but it won't be a real long meeting either. But I anticipate two large issues, the budget being one of them.
So you're looking at what, hour and a half, 2 hours?
Tops.
Okay.
Yeah. I expect a number of guests at that meeting who will want to speak with you. And then they have a presentation to give you. But I would say I wouldn't think they would take more than an hour.
Okay. Well, Teresa, is 28th going to work for you?
It'll be okay.
Okay. Tom?
Yeah, it'll work for me.
Philip?
It'll work for me.
Okay. Jimmy?
Yeah, it'll work.
Okay. It works for me. So we'll set the 28th at 5:30.
Okay.
for our special meeting in.
I will get those notices out.
Okay.
Ms. Ragland, if you want to follow up with those other parties and see if that time will work for them after tomorrow.
Okay.
I know they have some work to finish up tomorrow on that, and then we'll let them know that date's available, and if they want to get on that date, they need to get moving.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay. I guess onward to student services. Josh?
Yes, sir. I'd like to take just a moment to highlight just a couple things that are coming up. One is graduation. As you mentioned earlier, we're beginning recordings of speakers and those that will be presenting. We are doing graduation virtually, which will be May 13th, and it will premiere at 6 p.m. So the way that we're able to do this is that it's available to everyone at 6 p.m. On May 13th. And so we're working towards getting those recordings completed and getting everything prepared, as well as working with students for their applications to graduate and ensuring that everything will be in place and ready for our wonderful, exciting graduation. Mm-hmm. Something else I want to highlight too is been working with several hiring committees. Again, excited to be able to bring on some new professionals. And one of those we discussed a little bit earlier, couldn't be here tonight, but has just been hired recently. And that is the Executive Director of Admissions and Registrar. Very excited with this individual and excited to be working with him as we continue our strategic enrollment planning, which of course will be due at the end of June. But again, we're already on par with that and have it rolling, and we're very excited for what that's going to reveal and continues to show us so that we can be more effective in providing success for our students and ensuring that there's nothing to block access, and of course using our resources well there also. So just a few things that I wanted to highlight. Very excited about where we're headed for enrollment and the new hires that are coming on and their experience and what they're going to bring to the college. So just really good things to look forward to in the future. Thank you.
Josh, I'd like to add, if you don't mind, on graduation, just a couple of additional points.
Absolutely.
We do have a commencement speaker this year. We're very happy to have Clint Harden agree to deliver some comments at commencement, and Josh will be working with Clint to take care of the recording on that. So Senator Harden or Secretary Harden, however you feel best in addressing him, is very honored to come and speak with our students this year on commencement. The other thing that we're looking at as well, and I think that we've pretty much settled on this, is creating a watch party, an opportunity for people who want to come together and watch this in the lecture hall of the Wynn Center. And then that'll be followed by a brief reception following the graduation. They can all see it together. So the ones that want to attend can do that, and the ones that don't have to. And then we'll have some cake and some Pepsi products after that, in a way that we can all sort of celebrate that opportunity for our students.
And if I could add something really quickly, I guess a request. We are looking for a singer who would be able to do the national anthem. So we are looking in the community or area around. So if you know of anyone, we'd be interested.
Yeah. Josh, Mrs. Bush, are you online?
I am.
Would you give that name to Josh, please?
I will send it to him.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you.
It happens to be that I know that in one of the classes that Mrs. Bush is teaching, she has a student who is the contracted national anthem singer for all the PBR rodeos. She travels all over the nation singing the national anthem for all the rodeos through the PBR, and she's one of Mrs. Bush's, Professor Bush's students this semester. So snag her. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. That's all I have. Thank you very much.
Okay, let me get my mic turned on. Dr. Haas, I believe you're next. Dr. Haas, I believe you're muted, ma'am.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Here you are.
Was there a question?
You have anything to report?
You're next on the agenda under student affairs.
Under student affairs.
Yes,
Sorry.
sir.
No, I don't have the agenda. For some reason, I guess I missed it. So I apologize about that. So for student affairs, when I stepped in to or walked in to assist with Dr. Roundtree's responsibilities after she left. So I have, I have been doing some of her responsibilities. Thank goodness that we now have Chris Jones to assist with housing and student life and that sort of thing. So I also took over the food pantry subject. I met with Tom Bailey, who oversees the ECMC funding, and Brenda, who came with him. So I met with them on April the 6th. We discussed the what all we could do with the pantry funds, and very promising. We're hoping to have at least a kickstart at the end of this semester, well, hopefully finals week. And not only that, but he was very excited with what we had so far. The Pepsi company, I hope I can say this, the Pepsi company too, is going to give us or provide us with a cooler so that we can have some food items that maybe we can refrigerate to put in the bags for the students whenever we do the kickstart. And not only that, but they did say that, yes, I can go ahead and use food pantry money to purchase water, tea, and juice to provide for the students care packages for their for the food pantry. And he also was really happy about the creativity that we had in going that route, so that we didn't have to use food pantry money to purchase any kind of equipment at this time. He did take pictures. He's excited about that and is just, anxiously awaiting for us to get started. I'm just waiting on Ms. Otero to provide me with an account number for the food pantry so that I can go ahead and make those purchase order and the requisition for buying some product and supplies for the pantry. I have been working with housing, and I now have passed the baton on to Mr. Jones as of yesterday, and I'm still assisting him with that. So just moving right along, trying to step in where needed, and very excited to be here to help. So I don't know what else did I leave out, Dr. Bush.
The only thing you left out, Dr. Haas, was the fact that ECMC, who is a contractor for the U.S. Department of Education, who's been helping us because we're at HSI, told us that they are very anxious to give us more money.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And we are very anxious to accept it. So anyway, so we are moving in the right direction with ECMC, and anyway, they've invited me to an event as well to support the continued work there. So we've got some good stuff going on with ECMC as well.
Right. Great.
And remember, they help us in about 5 different categories, or 6 maybe. Everything from helping us use a statistical tool, which most of us are going for the certification and training on, that will help students determine their careers much more easily. They provide money for our food pantry. They provide money for us to have an emergency fund for our students, which we use quite often. And they provide training for our faculty. They've been here and continue to do training for faculty and staff for student success initiatives. And that might be it. Did I forget anything from the team here that they do for us as well? They have several areas that they support us, and we're very lucky. And it doesn't cost us anything. So it's wonderful.
Okay. My hotspot shut down about twice, so I'm on Starlink. Find out how well it's going to work.
We'll see.
So, okay, Mr. Morgan, I believe you're up next, sir.
You're muted, Jim.
Okay, the gentleman was here today from Palita's Mexican food hatch chili place. He's starting to clean up the gymnasium and the office they're going to rent. Will probably be in operation in a month or so. He is going to move the freezer and the refrigerator inside as opposed to outside inside a chain link fence, so that'll be helpful. He's also going to work with us on the gym floor and exhausting those machines out of the area. A couple of items from my last month's report. I said that the WWRC renovation of Building A was still trying to iron out some details. I'd like to point out that those details have been ironed out. We are going forward. I should be able to submit that notice of obligation for payment. Hopefully tomorrow, the next day. I've already got the failure to get our appropriation and cancellation clauses inserted in the contract. So we should be able to get that out. In addition, the solar contract for the first part of the solar training center should be going out Monday. It would go out sooner, but he's out. And then when he gets back, I just got to add the non-appropriation clause to his contract. Everything else is in place. That's all I really have to add to my report. If you'll turn over to number 4, Exhibit 4, monthly finance report. The monthly finance report is divided into 3 sections. If you turn over to section 1, it is the budget summary report. If there's no questions, we can turn over to section 2, which is the monthly investment report. Reports on the investments we have in the various banks around the area for CDs. If you turn over to section 3, that is the expenditure report, which is a list of all of the checks that have been written in the last month. The month before this one, obviously this report is for March, not April, because we haven't ended April yet. If there's no questions, I need action on this one.
Yes, sir. Are there any questions on the first segment of the budget report? Okay. Are there any questions on the investment report? If there's no questions there, do we have any questions on the check registry? Then do I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Okay. Jimmy moves, and second, please.
So moved. Teresa.
Okay, Jimmy moved. Are you going to second then, Teresa?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Teresa
that's her. Second.
Okay. Teresa will second it. Roll call, please.
Mr. Streetman,
Yes.
Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell,
Yes.
Miss Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Box,
Yes.
and the motion carried.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is workforce development report. Professor Bush.
Good evening. How is everybody?
We're doing good.
I will be brief as well. Our CDL program is up and running, and we are looking at expanding on in some various ways, one of which is discussions with a corporate client that could significantly increase our traffic in the CDL program. With meat processing, Dr. Insinius is completing, I believe at this time, the first round of that certification in the Oneida Nation in Wisconsin, where we had 10 people complete the entire certification and then a variety of other people taking some singular components of that. I have meetings scheduled to begin the discussions on certified nursing assistant and phlebotomy. We want to get some of those programs going. And I have been spending a great deal of time learning the system as far as how to put students into the system and getting our classes set up properly and things like that. So there are countless opportunities and directions we can go in workforce development. So I'm just trying to keep up with that. So that is my report for tonight.
Okay, then I guess next on the item, we got to have an executive session. So do we have a motion to go into executive session for the items listed here?
I'll make a motion that we go into executive session.
Okay, and
Second.
second, please. Okay, who seconded?
Philip.
Philip. Okay, thank you, sir. And Tom made the motion. Roll call.
Ms. Stevenson,
Yes.
Mr. Streetman,
Yes.
Come on back.
I usually save a lot of them that are important, but I a lot of stuff goes to spam too. So I always have to kind of check there.
I'm glad you noticed it was fake.
Oh yeah. My question was, why would you want me to try to buy credit or buy gift cards? No. Now, somebody may need to call that young man that joined us, Dr. Bush, late. Then we'll have to get back in here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey,
Somebody-
Josh, can you call Daniel Shaw?
I think so.
Josh, do you have Daniel Shaw's phone number?
That's what I'm looking for right now.
Okay, thank you.
I may have it if you don't.
If you have it on hand, that would be helpful. But if not, then I'm looking.
Margaret, please don't provide it on the screen.
No, I won't. Are we live?
Yes.
Now, don't do like I did last week, Margaret.
Okay, no, I won't.
It's a good thing Larry was on the ball and cut me off.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
live.
I'm sorry. I just have his email.
I found it.
Okay.
Give him a buzz
I'll give
and
him a call.
invite him back, and we'll introduce him to the board. There, Denise is back. I just tried to call her. Let me try Stephanie.
Yes, I had two links, and I went to the other one, so perhaps Stephanie did as well.
Okay. Did you get the first one, Dr. Hackett?
Yes, I actually have two on my calendar.
I did
so-
too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because Dr. Bush wanted me to send an invite to the new hires to make sure that you had it on your calendar. And then Larry always sends out the link.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
like at 5, he starts the meeting at 5:15. So that's how you know
Right. Okay.
the difference. Yeah.
He said he'll be on in 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
Well, by that time, we might be gone.
We're going to be gone, but he can log on.
Well, we have to reconvene anyway.
Yeah. And Larry's got to get us back up to speed.
Yes.
The stream is running, sir.
Okay. The stream is running and we got everybody back on here. I see the board is present. Okay. That being said, do I have a motion to reconvene from executive session?
I so move. This is Philip.
Okay. And a second, please.
Second.
Okay,
Second.
Tom seconded.
Who
Okay.
seconded?
Tom.
Tom.
I think
Okay.
he beat Teresa and Jimmy.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
All right.
roll call.
Yes, sir. Mr. Sandoval,
Yes.
Mr. Box,
Yes.
Mr. Sidwell,
Yes.
Miss Stevenson,
Yes.
and Mr. Streetman,
Yes.
and the motion carried.
Okay, at this particular point in time, there is no action to be taken on anything that was discussed in executive session. We will go on to new business. Do we have any new business that you want to mention, Dr. Bush?
No, sir.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, correspondence. There's not a lot of correspondence. We've got our graduation coming up in 13th of May. Our next board meeting will be the 17th of May. Graduation will be virtual this year due to circumstances beyond our control. And hopefully it won't be that way next year. We'll start pursuing this a lot earlier and get it done. Informational items, Cinco de Mayo will be May the 5th. Graduation again on May the 13th. Memorial Day, the college will be closed on May the 30th. And at that point in time, I don't have anything else. Dr. Bush, do you have anything else?
Just a reminder, sir, that the week beginning after graduation, so that'd be the 13th, 14th, 16th, the week of the 16th is when the college goes to their summer 4-day week. Just to remind all of you, in case you happen to want to stop by the college on Friday, there won't be anybody here.
I'll bet there will be sometimes in some places.
Yeah, probably me. But that's, but yeah, that's
yeah, I understand. But anyway, okay, Mr. Bach, you got anything else?
No.
Okay, Ms. Stevenson?
No, there is the new hiree there that just popped in. Welcome.
Let's see if he's here. Oh, there he is.
Bush?
Yes.
Yes, we do. We have Daniel Shaw with us. Mr. Shaw, let me see if we can find you. I'm not seeing you. Are you there? There you are, sir. Thank you. Thank you. We are very delighted to welcome Daniel Shaw to Mesa Land. He is our new executive director for admissions, and also serving as our registrar. Let me just, I'm going to turn it over to you, Mr. Shaw. Would you please tell us where you went to school, where you've been working, that kind of stuff. Tell us about yourself, and let the board know who you are and why we made a good decision.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for the invitation. First of all, I definitely appreciate you guys inviting me here to speak with you all. And a little bit about my background. So, of course, I'm Daniel Shaw, and I'm very delighted to begin working with Mesa Lands Community College's upcoming week. I am currently a part of the Maricopa Community Colleges in Tempe, Arizona, where I currently lead our administrative services division, which is going to, or I'm a project manager for our administrative services division, which includes IT, business services, human resources, auxiliary services, everything on the auxiliary side. Previous to me becoming a project manager at the Maricopa Community Colleges, I was the coordinator of student services, where I oversaw the areas of early college. I oversaw the areas of admissions and records, division of financial aid, and then enrollment services and advisement. So I have about 5 years of experience with working within higher education, working with leading teams in enrollment, kind of navigating us through the tougher parts, including COVID. COVID was a time for all of us, but I've had experience with working with special groups, working with diverse groups in order to reach a common goal. And at the end of the day, I am delighted to be beginning this journey with you guys and look forward to working with you guys in the future.
Great. And I think you left out financial aid. You also had significant financial aid experience as well.
Yes, financial aid. I worked as the grant officer and the loan officer for all 10 of our Maricopa community colleges for about a year before I moved into enrollment services. So sorry, I forgot to do that part. But I have experience working within each sector of enrollment services, being, like I said, financial aid, academic advising, and I look forward to working with you guys and leading those teams in the coming weeks.
Well, Mr. Shaw, we're very, very happy to have you join us. We're looking forward to you joining us next week, and we're looking forward to teasing you because we think you look like you're about 12, and so you've got that young look about yourself. So you might as well go ahead and get ready for it because it's waiting for you when you get here. And
I get that a lot, and I think a lot of people I get it a lot. So,
but what I really hope the board heard here, as this young man rattled off, is that he has the experience of student services as long as your arm. He knows everything about this, from financial aid to enrollment management to admissions to all the pieces. It was another one of those people that when we saw the resume, we went, wow, he's great. So yeah, we're really looking forward to having him around. He's I've spoken with him a few times on the phone. He's very, very polite, very cool guy, and I'm sure we'll have a great time having him around. We welcome him to Masonland. So welcome, Mr. Shaw.
Yes.
Thank you. Look forward to working with you guys and meeting you all soon, hopefully.
Yeah, good.
Okay, if you'll just hang on here a minute, we're running down through the list. Mr. Sidwell, do you have anything else? Okay, Mr. Sandoval.
No.
Mr. Wickham.
Just wanted to add that Mr. Morgan did attempt to rejoin, but he did have some difficulties, but I do not have anything myself.
Okay. Ms. Ragland?
No, sir, I don't.
Mr. McVeigh?
I do not, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Professor Bush?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Dr. Hackett?
I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay. Daniel, I'm going to give you a chance if you got anything else you want to add.
No, sir. I think I'm okay.
Okay. Ms. Otero?
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. I want to welcome all the new hires. We appreciate you. We're glad you're here.
Yes.
At this point in time, I don't have anything else for tonight. We're going to call this meeting adjourned